Hello, this lecture is about Indians and colonists in Arkansas. The colonial period of Arkansas history was one of change both for the native peoples and the Europeans. Hernando de Soto first explored the area in 1540 and found prosperous native farming communities. By the time the French arrived in 1670, the area was sparsely settled by native peoples in smaller dispersed villages. It was filled with wildlife, though, and Europeans who immigrated there came primarily to hunt, trap, and trade. Over time, others arrived, more intent on settling and farming. By 1802, Arkansas was home to a diverse population of Europeans, Africans, and Native Americans from many areas of the country. The objective of this module is to help us understand how Arkansas developed as a colonial experiment under various leaders within the context of European politics and policies. The Spanish conquistador Hernando de Soto first explored the area in 1540 and found prosperous native communities. His expedition terrorized the Indians, stole their food, and destroyed their crops. This was the usual pattern followed by the Spanish with respect to Indians in the Americas. The French arrived in the 1670s to an area occupied by Indians in smaller dispersed villages. The area was filled with wildlife, though, and French came primarily to hunt, trap, and trade. They befriended the Indians, as was common with the French. Settlers from the United States east of the Mississippi River arrived over time, intent on farming. In 1802, Arkansas was home to a diverse population of Europeans, Africans, and Native Americans from many areas of the country. By the time Arkansas became a state in 1836, the Indian tribes were gone. They had been removed to reservations further west. French explorers. In 1673, Father Jacques Marquette and Louis Joliet led a small expedition down the Mississippi River from Illinois. They encountered the Quapaw Indians at the mouth of the Arkansas River. In 1682, Robert de La Salle led a larger expedition down the river to the Gulf of Mexico. He claimed a vast area west of the Mississippi River for France. In 1686, Henry de Tonty, La Salle's partner, founded Arkansas Post at the mouth of the Arkansas River. And in 1719, Bernard de la Harpe established an outpost among the Caddo near Texarkana. Arkansas Post. Arkansas Post was on land prone to flooding and not particularly fertile. Because of this, and to facilitate trade with the Indians, the settlement relocated several times. It was abandoned in 1699. Scottish banker John Law attempted unsuccessfully to reestablish Arkansas Post by offering to sell land to German immigrants in 1720. In 1731, settlers arrived after a permanent military garrison was established there. Even so, by 1777, there were only about 51 civilian settlers in the area. During the 1740s and 1750s in Europe, the French and English warred against one another. This conflict carried over to the colonies in America. The English and their Chickasaw Indian allies occupied land on the east side of the Mississippi River around Memphis. At Arkansas Post, the French and their Quapaw allies raided the Chickasaws from time to time. The Chickasaws and English countered by raiding the Quapaws. Some settlers were killed and others were captured. In 1766, the Spanish assumed control of the former French lands. More settlers arrived. In 1800, Spain, under a secret treaty, returned the area to the French. And in 1803, the United States negotiated the Louisiana Purchase, taking control of the future state of Arkansas and a vast area west of the Mississippi River. That ends this lecture.